Rachel Reeves told world leaders last week that the UK's productivity challenge has been compounded by the way in which the UK left the European Union. And just yesterday, she repeated the claim that things like austerity and Brexit have had a bigger impact on the economy than was projected, adding that the decision to leave the EU needlessly added costs to businesses. Do you think that's fair for her to say, Carole?
This woman is beyond a joke. You know the Labour government is in deep trouble when it reaches out to blame Brexit, a vote that you just quite rightly said happened 5 years ago. You know, using it as a scapegoat for her own catastrophic mistakes is beyond pathetic. And it's funny she's just talking about it now when she's been in government for nearly 15 months. But, you know, people forget that when Brexit was, when we were finally free, a little thing called the pandemic came and hit this country and all but shut it down. But let's look at the stuff that has happened thanks to Brexit. You know, all the trade deals we had have rolled on. We have lots of new ones with India, with the US, with Japan. The problem here, and you remember Project Fair where it said that we wouldn't have access to EU goods. We now export more to the EU than we ever did, and our imports are something like 24 billion. So it's not catastrophe. What's catastrophe is what this woman has done. It's her tax rises, which she said she was not going to impose. It's her NI tax rises, which have closed businesses, which have made unemployment shoot up. Inflation has shot up as a result of that. Apart from all of that, the woman is fiscally incompetent. We have seen that with every decision she's made. And for her now to blame Brexit on the world stage, she just makes herself look even more stupid than she actually is. You know, we've saved, since we left Brexit, nearly 90 billion in membership fees alone, and that's in the past few years. So, you know, this is the last desperate of attempt from a woman who's Her satisfactory rating currently resides at minus 56%. Starmer's is minus 66%. And these are two people who have wrecked this country in record time.
Suzy?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's whether you want to argue with all the top economists, whether you want to argue with the Governor of the Bank of England and, you know, people that would say it is logic that our closest trading bloc, the biggest trading bloc in the world, which was on our doorstep,
which is in a mess,
we step back from. And for all those small businesses, what we can say, all those small businesses watching today, where all of their costs went through the roof, what we saying to them? We're saying to them, oh yeah, this wasn't a big deal. The reason how we say it's a big deal is because the majority of British voters are now saying it was a mistake.
And that's exactly why Labour. That's exactly why Labour have jumped on the bandwagon.
They were lied to.
They weren't lied to.
They were lied to. They were said,
well, the British people,
all this money in the
are they stupid?
Tories put that money in
are you saying the British people are stupid?
After 2016,
are you saying the British people are stupid?
No,
so they voted
I
for
think the British people are incredibly intelligent.
They are.
I think it's absolutely right. I do want to say, absolutely right, that we respect, you know, the democracy and how people voted.
Well, you don't.
But logic, no, I'm just saying.
You clearly don't.
I'm just saying that, do you know, it's really interesting. I bumped into an economist who lectures at Oxford, OK? This guy is not political. He's just an intelligent guy, probably one of the top economists in the world, OK? And he said, I said to him, what I genuinely wanted to learn. I was like, you know, why are we in this state? And the first thing that came out of his mouth was Brexit. I'm not going to argue with someone like that. I'm not going to argue.
OK, can I just come in and say that Europe, this great bloc she's talking about, is in the toilet. It's in a worse situation than we are. Germany is in an economic mess at the moment, as is France. Let me just say, Italy has its growth has been 0.8% since 2008. Ours has been 5.9% in the same time. So this great bloc you're talking about is in an economic mess.
OK, but since the Labour Party took over, our growth has been a little bit higher than some parts of Europe.
No,
that is absolutely
0.7.
Right. It has been certain parts of the EU.
0.7. That's what our growth is.
Yeah, our growth has been higher than some parts.
Not as the European zone.
Our growth in the first 6 months of this year was higher than all of Europe.
And that is thanks to the great overseeing of a Labour government and Rachel Reeves.
Well, this is what I was going to get to. isn't that a defence of Rachel Reeves?
No.
The fact that even in a state of dismality of the global economy shrinking,
Storm, she
she's managed to
inherited
keep
the
our
fastest
economy
growing
all right.
economy in the EU. She inherited an economy that she said had a 20 billion black hole. That black hole is now 50 billion thanks to her catastrophic policy.
I just want to say that I am utterly shocked. 14 years, and I don't care if people are bored of hearing this.
Here we go, here we go.
The political people are.
The Tories aren't
This is
in.
the logic, isn't it? Labour have been in for just over a year. Yeah. This is a great country. This is a big economy. You don't turn that ship around. Are you forgetting
the pandemic?
We know that the Tories start the economy was recovering. Okay, around whenever it was when the Tories got in 2010, they starved off that recovery by their austerity, by cutting big infrastructure projects, by cutting loads of jobs, which means we didn't have the tax receipts. What Labour have done, we've come in and we are prioritising growth. We are prioritising investment. This great ship, this great country is going to turn around.
So not only was she right to blame Brexit, but also austerity, which she does mention.
100%.
Nick from Greater Manchester, what do you think is Brexit to blame?
Hello?
Hi there.
Yeah, I've got a question for Susie.
Go on.
Well, I'm looking at all the countries that are in Europe that's in Brexit. And I'm looking for which country is doing well. I look at Germany, it's struggling. France is in turmoil. All the other countries are struggling for money and everything else. So who's doing well coming out of Brexit?
Yeah, is it Nick?
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, Nick, I can 100% hear what you're saying, but I'm not arguing about how those individual countries are doing. I'm talking about all the small business leaders that are now struggling with their imports and exports
because of her
because of all the barriers.
They're not. Did you not just hear what I said?
Because of all the barriers that were there before. And what I'm saying is overwhelmingly...
You're talking. You're telling lies.
No,
our exports are more now than they were.
I'm just trying to have a little chat with Nick.
Nick, she's spanting you the normal Labour tosh.
Nick, overwhelmingly businesses, okay, are saying that it has been tougher, it has been harder, they have laid people off. That's just the logic. Now, listen, I'm not saying, Nick, that people were wrong to vote, but I have friends that voted for Brexit. You know, I respect that. But what I am saying is that every economist, business leader, the OBR, the governor of the Bank of England is saying Brexit has been bad for our economy.
Susie,
sorry, Carole. No, hold on.
She's generalising.
Okay.
She's saying every that's tosh.
Okay.
She's mentioned one economist who she met in Oxford. So I'm sorry, that's tosh.
Well, she also mentioned the governor of the Bank of England. But can I just come back to you on just an OBR stat here? You've said that we trade more with the EU now than we did before.
Yeah.
They say that both exports and imports will be around 15% lower in the long run than the UK now that if the UK had remained in the EU.
More to Europe than we did before Brexit. No, it's just a stat that I looked up today.
Okay, that's good. I think that's good, like a propaganda stat. I'm sorry, because it's just
a bit like every economist on the planet says.
I believe that our trades with non-EU countries, so outside of the EU, have gone up. So maybe that was the stat, but that's what the OBR says. Nick, thank you very much for your call. David from Southampton, what's your view?
Well, I think it was a mistake
to leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we voted for it.
David?
We have sovereignty.
Man of sense.
Why?
Well, because as far as I'm concerned, we, for the sake of 4%, we have put this country in a worse state than we did before.
You mean 4% what?
Growth.
Well,
right.
the difference between staying in and going out, right? I mean, to me, it was never big enough. You can relate it to other polls and other referendums and whatever. But getting back to the point, if I was a Remainer and proud of it, and the people that were Brexiteers, in my mind, need to look themselves in the mirror and be honest with themselves and saying that was it.
Have you looked at the state of the rest of the EU, David? Their economies, their growth. Have you looked at their growth in Germany and in France?
Miss Malone, you talking about popularity, I think you should look at yours, but that's another point.
So now this is what people personally attack you when they don't have an argument. So never mind what my popularity is. I'm asking you, have you looked at the growth in countries like France and Germany?
The way that you were over-talking that other lady wasn't good, right?
Okay,
I'm asking you a question.
This isn't actually a debate as to whether you like Carole or not. This is a debate on whether Brexit has hindered or
David,
benefited the economy.
Let me just agree with you here for a moment. These are the facts. You know, these are the facts. In the rooms where it's not about politics and it's about facts and it's about logic and it's about the good of the country and it's about jobs, people are saying what they see on the graphs, which is trade went down, jobs went down. It made it harder for businesses. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? If I'm England and you're France and I could, like, trade to you, but now there's all these barriers and complications and bureaucracy, that's not good for businesses. This was, I would say, a selfish campaign led by people that had,
No, it wasn't. It was to get our sovereignty back.
Fascinating.
People
wanted
wanted our
immigration.
sovereignty.
Fascinating. An awful thing about this is Nigel Farage and his we're going to get immigration down. They've put immigration up. Why have they put immigration up? Because we are not being able to work with you in the way we did before. What a disaster Nigel Farage is for this country. Utter disaster.
Can I respond to you? Immigration. We still had immigration problems before Brexit. People might have been coming over in the boats and like they were coming across in lorries. We still had a really bad immigration problem.
Is it worse now?
Sorry?
Is it worse now?
Is it worse under Labour? Absolutely.
No, is it worse since Brexit?
Of course, it's not since Brexit. It's worse because of your party.
Carole.
Because your party hasn't got an immigration policy.
Okay.
It has no deterrent.
Okay.
It banished all the deterrents that the Tories put in place.
Okay, look, the logic shows that it's gone up since we came out of Brexit, and those small boats were not coming over in that number before.
OK, David, thank you very much for your call. Caroline from Essex, what's your thoughts on this?
I think we were right to come out of Brexit.
Go on, tell me why.
My family are in Germany, and I know the situation they're in. I am 100% British for this country, and we needed to be more autocratic than we were.
Okay.
We were being led by the nose by the European Council, that we were bringing in money, and that's why they've made it so difficult.
Yes.
But may I point out to the lady from the Labour Party,
Suzy.
when the Conservatives came in last time, the MPs actually laughed and said, "We have left nothing in the coffers." Exactly. And they were right. They haven't left anything to the coffers. Then we had COVID. The Conservatives got through that. And then they were building the economy. Unfortunately, let's say strife within the Conservative Party put the problems that we have now.
Well,
but Brexit is not the problem.
Is it Caroline?
It's the government.
Caroline, sorry, so just to say, you mentioned a few things there. In 2010, yes, the note that was left, it was a silly note. But just to say, that was, global economic crisis that hit the whole globe. It was started in the Labour Party.
As did COVID,
So just to say, global economic crisis, we know it started in America. We know it impacted every country. I mean, do you know what? It was the biggest lie sold to the British people that somehow the Labour Party caused a big crisis in America. It was a crisis that started there, that came across our waters. Gordon Brown did a fantastic job, actually, of, like, stabilising us. The economy's recovering. David Cameron comes in and starves off that economic recovery through austerity. Then COVID, do you think they really did a good job in COVID, considering all the PPE scandals?
God, the tropes you come out with.
It's not tropes.
It's,
tropes.
I would love to have seen how Labour. This was a global pandemic.
Do you know what we haven't? Like a global economic crisis.
It is Labour's smugness. Your party can't handle anything, and yet here was a global crisis that the Tories didn't do too badly.
Do you know what we haven't mentioned? We haven't even mentioned Liz Truss and her crazy budget. Do you know what, Carole?
You guys come up with the same things. Truss.
Good.
Truss was in power for 3 months. This woman's been in for 15 months.
We're still paying the damage.
15 months.
Look, Carole, can I just ask you a question?
Yes.
There are really good people, mums and dads in this country, whose mortgages, mortgages have gone through the roof. Their whole lives have changed.
Yeah.
Their whole lives have changed.
Because of this woman.
Their whole lives have changed.
Well, hold on.
Because
Liz Truss, surely.
Can you stop shouting in my ear?
Well, I'm just fighting on a level here.
the governor of the Bank of England has said it is because of her policies that the interest rates will not go down anymore because of what she's
Okay,
done.
but the reason they
actually
went
said
up
that.
in the first place. Okay, we're going to have to draw a line there. I don't think we're going to get any agreement on the panel whatsoever.